Baylor wide receiver Denzel Mims has been a name that's been tied to the Vikings quite a bit in recent mock drafts, as well as draft Nick stuff, whatever. Should be available in the 20s when the Vikings select 22-25 overall. And also, he said he was a Vikings fan in a recent interview. Now, I don't want that to be the reason why he's drafted, even though some of his fans are like, oh, he said nice things about us, he should be one of us. I don't want a first round version of Mobo going on. We don't, ain't nobody got time for that. There you go. But overall, he is a fun player, has insane measurables, really nice senior season, but he really is the biggest gamble in this draft. And he was for sure one of the most polarizing projects of this draft class. And as high as the ceiling is, I think he may have one of the lowest floors in terms of potential, in terms of this wide receiver class, which... but like we said, massive senior season in Waco 2019, 66 catches, 1,020 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. First team All Big 12 in 2019. So positives first. Absolutely lit up, destroyed the combine. Did the damn thing, right? 4.3840, 38.5-inch vert, 131 inches in the broad jump, 6.66666666. Mark of the beast, 3-cone, but then also, short shuttle is whatever. So the numbers were, frankly, a little bit surprising. Well, some of the better ones were a little bit surprising because if you look back at his tape at Baylor, he didn't always play as fast as his time, right? Or certainly lack of agility will play a part in that as well, where not necessarily as quick or in and out of breaks and whatnot. So negatives with Mims, it's always going to be hands and route running, right? So think of that right away. Man, so the wide receiver, he's really fast running in a straight line, but his hands and he can't run very good routes. Other than that, he's awesome, right? So with hands-wise, it's not on the level of Troy Williamson, but it is the damnedest thing. Like every once in a while, completely drops a wide-open ball. Sometimes it's concentration. Sometimes it's already running without the ball, playing get six and whatnot. So is it up there with Diggs drops, BC drops, whatever drops? Maybe. But it is concerning, and it is a demerit against him. So route running, that's definitely a work in progress, where he actually has only been a wide receiver for 5 years, 1 year in high school, 4 years at Baylor. But there's a lot of stuff that just does need to be worked on, right? And that's what NFL coaching does bring to bear. So hopefully Andrew Giannacco would have a little something ready to go. And like we said, not playing as fast as his timed shows like he's slow to getting out of breaks. Footwork can be a little bit erratic. There is a lot of wasted motion at times as well. And just as a pure route runner, he is far behind BC Johnson, who's one of the cleanest route runners in the draft last year. Plus, you look at the type of receiver that the Vikings brought in the last couple of years. So Stephon Diggs, even though he's a fifth-round pick, one of the best route runners in that draft overall. And then even last year, like we said, BC Johnson, Dylan Mitchell, as well as Davion Davis, Alexander Hollins, very clean technicians in terms of running a full NFL route tree. Now, like I mentioned, he's only been playing wide receiver for a couple of years, but also which draft pick has come in as a marginal route runner and just suddenly turned into a great one? Like, it's certainly something that can be worked on, and plus with all the NFL, all the NFL trainers, all the NFL gear, all the stuff like that, you can work on foot speed and foot agility, but to some degree, it is something that you're born with, right? Plus something that you have to work on, muscle memory being honed in from a very young age. So is he suddenly going to become a Stephon Diggs route running? Is he suddenly become Adam Thielen running full route tree? Probably not. But also, I think it's a little unfair to paint him as, he's going to be Cordero Patterson, where he's going to be this gadget type player. I think he deserves a little bit more credit there, but there does need to be a lot to be worked on. So, but right now, I would say he's more of an athlete playing wide receiver than an athletic wide receiver, if that makes sense. Plus, even though he's got really good size, 6'3", 207 and change, he's not physical, getting off a press. So he's also not the wide receiver who's going to bang and clang and go up and get it in big contested catch spots, right? So if the Vikings brought him in, I don't think he would be a week one starter. I think he would be a project, something that needs to be worked on. I think BC Johnson, I think Tajay Sharp would be that wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. But he certainly would come in and contribute right away in terms of like a small package of plays that displays what he does best. Long speed, probably on longer down and distances. So try and keep him away from press as much as possible. So all that while working on some of the finer routes. Maybe he plays some special teams. I could be a great punt gunner. So we got that going for us. Yeah, that was the whole thing about Cordero and Treadwell is like once it's clear they weren't panning out as wide receiver 1 or 2, is like they're just really good gunners, but gotta contribute how you can. But for me, Mims isn't as big of a slam dunk prospect as I would say like Jalen Rieger at TCU. I'd much prefer him at 22-25, but you can certainly see the upside, and it is a big gamble. But again, with big gambles, there can be big payoffs as well. So the Vikings gonna roll the dice. We'll see. But your thoughts, Denzel Mims got out of Baylor, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, below some of the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time, Skol, production value.